Growing up wasn't always so easy for me. In my childhood and early teenage years, I was really insecure, and I would think really low of myself, and I wouldn't accept myself as I am. And a great part of it was my elementary school teacher, who would often just single me out in front of students and tell me that I was not going to succeed in life and that I was not going to do better than the average. And so that really kind of, when he said those things to me, it kind of over and over again, they kind of stuck to me, and I started to believe it. And that's how I became more and more insecure. And also I had friends in school that would, they knew that something was different in me because I grew up in a Christian home, and they knew that. And they just treated me like I was a different person than they are, and I never really fit in their little conversations or something they had. So yeah, that was kind of hard for me, and I wouldn't really open up to my parents because I thought it's okay, it's who I am, you know, I'm different, I'm not one of them, and it's okay, you know. And when I was about 14 years old, I had this amazing experience with God, and it was a night, late at night, and I just realized how God has this great love for me. I was reading the Bible a little bit, and I came across this verse, and it really hit me that He has this unconditional love for me, and that it doesn't matter what other people think about me, because they will never love me as much as God loves me, and they will never care much for me as God does. And so just knowing that was starting to build a little bit of my confidence. And, you know, I was then able to talk to my parents a little bit about that, and my friends. I started to go to different Bible studies and learn more about God's love for me. At times I tend to think about sometimes too highly of myself, or even go to the other extreme and think that beat myself with a false humility. And there's this really cool verse in Romans 12:3, and it talks about how we should not think highly of ourselves, but just think of ourselves in a sober judgment. And I think that's somewhere in between. It's really healthy for a person to be in that state of mind. You brought me to a place where I can leave it all behind. God chose me before I was born. He gave me certain characteristics and gifts and talents, and I believe that God is perfect and that He doesn't make mistakes, and therefore I'm not a mistake. And in Jeremiah 29:11 it says that God has plans for me, plans to prosper, not to hurt me, to give me hope and future. And this means for me that He really, you know, planned for me to look this way, and to for me to, you know, have these characteristics, to have certain talents and gifts, and that I'm not a mistake, and that I'm a unique person for that, and that I should be grateful for who I am and just worship Him for just creating me like this. I know that I like to dance my whole life. I like to watch other people dance, but I never really tried it myself. I thought that I would never be good enough, or that I didn't think that was for me. And then one day I just decided I'm gonna go with it and try it, and I decided to really, really like it. I believe that I don't have to be perfect in everything I do. I can make mistakes, and because I don't depend on other people, what they think of me, it's more about what God thinks of me, and it's just about not proving myself, but just expressing myself. And I found that I can express myself through dance, and that God gave me that talent, and that's why I'm using it. And also, if I would have to prove myself to somebody, that would mean that I would making mistakes would frustrate me, and it would be more about competition and not about art. And for me, because I'm free of that, I'm free of proving myself to others, I can experience this great joy and while I'm dancing.